So the title of today's workshop is Cute but Confused, Myths and Realities of Mixed Race Identity. And cute really refers to one of the big stereotypes about mixed people, which is that all mixed people are very, very attractive. That's something that's definitely been in the media a lot. Mixed race people have historically been very much kind of sexualized and exoticized. And then on the flip side, confused refers to this idea that all mixed people have identity issues. You know, they don't really quite fit in, they're not quite black, they're not quite white.
It's kind of this silly notion that people expect if you are X, Y, Z, you're supposed to look a certain way, and there isn't room for a lot of deviation. People don't really think that there could be kind of different ways to look black, different ways to look Asian. They just kind of assume that they're going to see one thing. And it leads to this kind of experience of being a racial spy, if you think about it. You wind up, if you don't necessarily look like what you are, then you wind up experiencing things and hearing things that you wouldn't otherwise. For example, people think that you're one thing, and so they let their guard down, they feel comfortable and feel free to say all these other things that might not be so cool. One experience that I had specifically was in the gym, the locker room, and I saw this woman who I see pretty often, and she's Latina, which matters to the story. I assume, thought that I was as well, which a lot of people mistake me for. And so we're just kind of catching up, and she's saying, I'm kind of getting bored with this gym. I'm thinking of going someplace else. I said, yeah, where are you going to go? She said, maybe I'll join the Y in Flushing. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. She said, yeah, they have a great pool and everything. And I was like, that's great. And she's like, but there's only one problem. There were a lot of bees running around. And I was just like, at this point in my life, I just forget, because I feel like I am comfortable in my own skin. I feel like people understand me. I just assume, yeah, everybody knows what I am, but clearly not. She said, what do you mean? And she said, just that there are a lot of bees running around. And my mouth just kind of dropped. I couldn't hide the fact that I was just in awe of what she was telling me. And she kind of stumbled back. She's like, wait a minute, you're not Oriental, are you? And I was like, which of course just fits with the story. And I was like, actually, as an Asian. And she was like, oh, but you know what comes next too, right? But you're not one of those. And it was really embarrassing for her, because she thought she was just talking to, kindred sister, and I can say this to you. But that also leads to the question, why do people think it's okay to be racist within their own little groups? I mean, as we know, a lot of communities have those kind of ideas internally. So it just all kind of came out because she thought that I was like her.
All right, so the next myth is that mixed people should just choose one side. That's something you hear a lot. So-and-so she needs to get over herself. She's not really biracial. She's just black. And so I remember my first job out of college. I was having lunch with my coworkers, and we were talking about the entertainment industry and celebrities and all that kind of stuff. And the conversation got around to Halle Berry, the poster child. And so basically my coworkers were just like scoffing at this idea that mixed race identity could exist, that someone could be biracial, could be more than one thing at the same time. And they basically said, you know what, when it comes down to it, you know what side you're on. And I thought, when it comes down to what? The great race war that will erupt eventually? I think there's this idea that's very common, which is that, being biracial is a nice luxury, but really you're just kidding yourself, because one of these days you're going to have to choose what side you're on. And, certainly just because someone identifies as mixed doesn't mean that they don't identify as black too, or Asian, or whatever their heritage is. And really, think about where this kind of concept comes from, of picking one side. It sounds kind of good. It sounds like it might be something that arose out of like the Black Power movement, you know, black is beautiful, all that kind of stuff. But really where it came from is from the one-drop rule. And that's something that, you know, as we discussed earlier, was really a tool to reinforce the racial hierarchy at that time. So next time you hear that, you know, kind of question, well, where is that attitude really coming from, and what are the kind of roots of, and who created that concept in the first place?